Hello, good morning. Well, it's 4 minutes till afternoon right now. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm still in my pajamas, but who cares? Anyway, okay, so welcome to shoot. I think this is my third live that I'm doing specifically on doing it on Restream, and then I'm Ooh, listen to the thunder. I absolutely love thunder. Okay, so anyway, what I'm doing is every day, every single day, I'm gonna do a live. I'll start inviting people soon. I just feel like doing it right now. So when I have like the time and the kind of the energy and the space in my schedule, I'm gonna do a live because I'm sitting here anyway. Yeah. So I'm sitting here, I'm writing, I'm doing my thing. So I'll be up and down. So I'm just gonna be here. So anyway, I just like kind of want to do this by answering some questions that people may have, things that I've thought about, things that people think about all the time. Yeah. So question number one is always going to be, I've heard it like 70,000 times. How do I get students if I'm just starting out with no teaching platform? So you already have a teaching platform. It's for free. Where? There's three different places I can think of that you can create. There's a lot. But anyway, so you're first going to start out by familiarizing yourself with platforms like Zoom, Skype, and Telegram, as you can use WhatsApp as well. We're not talking about the Asian market today. We're not talking about the Asian market. So any other market, European, South American, um, where else do they not speak English? Like, as their first language. But anyway, so we're not talking about Asian. I don't want to touch on Asian market because I just don't know the market. Right now, I haven't, got in there. I didn't do any research. I've never found clientele through there. When I did teach Asian students, it was through other platforms, companies, and italki. Yes, italki. I also had an Asian student. But yeah, this is mostly for the Asian and for the European and maybe South American uh, market, right? So I'm talking about different places in the world, not Asia. Okay, so stop coming at me for Asian people, for Asian advice, because I don't know. Right now, I will become familiar with it, but right now I just don't know anything about it. Okay, so when you are using platforms, because the thing is, when it comes to Asian market, you use different platforms, and when it comes to European or other places in the world, you'll use the normal platforms that we are used to: Facebook, Instagram, uh, Telegram, WhatsApp, those types of platforms you will then be using. Okay, so I just want to preface this also again. I already started, but anyway, I have stuff happening in the background. There's a lot going on. Could be loud, so please just excuse me when it is a little bit loud. Okay, so I just want to. What is this? Yes, I want that over there. Okay, so when you are finding new students, like the number one thing you want to be doing is using hashtags specifically for the clientele that you are targeting. Okay, so if you are going to speak to people from Spain, you're going to use hashtag ESL Spain, Spain ESL, TEFL Spain, Spain TEFL, whatever it is, right? Find the hashtags that work, that are currently working for people. You want to also create your own hashtags, so people can get familiar that this is your hashtag, this is what you use. But for now, um, familiarize yourself with the different hashtags. I think for me, what I've seen is it's easier to find like people that are following hashtags on Instagram than it is on Facebook. I don't know what it's like on Facebook. I'm not really a big fan of Facebook, just because it's like but it's a very good platform to use because it's social media. But yeah, I wanted to completely get off Facebook because it's like such a boring platform. um I love Instagram, but I think, like, you need to give things a chance. You need to, yeah. I mustn't be so. I mustn't just cut off the platforms just because. Okay. So on Instagram, like I say, personal opinion, personal experience as well. It's easier to find who's following the hashtags. You can see the different types of posts under the hashtags that you are, that you want to use in your content. So yeah, I would say, and I mean, I think I can't speak for all the platforms, but I think if you see how popular and who are looking, who is using specific hashtags, it will also apply to Facebook. I speak under correction. I speak under correction, but this makes sense to my brain. So use it like that until you actually find your truth, baby gal. Okay, until you find out like what the real story is. Assume that everybody that is on the hashtag on Instagram is also on the hashtag or using the hashtag on Facebook. Okay, so then, like I say, be very specific about who you are helping. So Russians, Spanish people, Italian people, French people, people in Sweden, whatever, people in South American play parts, like countries within South America, like Mexico. I know very little about South America, so I'm not going to speak about South America. Okay, so anyway, but do that. Be very specific about who you want to help and then what it is that you actually do. Do you teach grammar? Do you teach conversation? Do you teach English with specific purpose? What do you teach? Business English. Be very specific, okay? Because a lot of teachers are just like, I don't know where the students are, but you don't know who you're teaching, right? So get specific about who you teach, and it will be a lot easier to actually find these students because you're going to the places to find them. You're going on the Facebook groups to find them. You're going in the hashtags on Instagram to find them, okay? So you will find them. You just need to put in the work, right? The work doesn't have to be difficult. This is work that I'm doing, right? This is me putting in effort into my own business, running this live, whatever, doing these lives every day. It's plowing into my business. It's helping gain traction, blah, 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 so that I can eventually find the people that need me, right? Because there's lots of people that don't like my face. There's lots of people that don't like my voice, and it doesn't matter. People, I'm gonna find my okay. Right. So that's number one. Hashtags. That's out of the way. Okay. The next thing that you should be doing is familiarizing yourselves with platforms. Yeah, yourselves with platforms like Zoom, Skype, WhatsApp, Telegram, all of these cool social media and also communication apps where you can actually host people. I'm using a platform called Can I type in here somewhere? Can I type a comment? I can't. I don't know where. I don't know how. Editor. Nope. Start typing notes for the scene. I don't know if that's just a note for me. Let me not type stuff because I don't know if can I share my screen. Yes, I can. Wonderful. Okay, I'm gonna share. I'm gonna open Notepad, and then I'm gonna share Notepad. What did I even want to write? What did I even want to write? I have no idea. I don't know what I was gonna write. This this is what. Okay, so there is an app called PayHip. But I'm still here. Okay, cool. There's an app PayHip where I'm hosting my memberships. Oh man. Okay. Let me just answer my phone quickly. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so there's an app called PayHip. PayHip is where I host my memberships. On PayHip, you can accept payments. No, you cannot. Or you can, but you're gonna have to upgrade. Yeah. So yeah, sorry. So you can accept payments, but for one, you're gonna have to accept. Sorry, you're gonna have to upgrade to the at least the first payment plan thing, and then also you're gonna need a Stripe account. Stripe doesn't work in South Africa, but anyway, what you can do with is it PayHip? Yes, man. I created a no. I'm really trying to think. Oh, I don't like that. I forgot. But anyway, I use PayHip. I use PayHip specifically for my memberships because it's nice that. Um, I see. Sorry. See, my brain had to find the information. So when you are hosting a membership, um, the membership is something that's like kind of recurring payments. So you can accept recurring payments on the free plan. That's how I remember it now. So if you are selling something like a course, like a PDF file, like a whatever, if it's just something once off, that will be something that you can accept payment for on PayPal. Yeah, on PayPal, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, so you can actually do that. So PayHip is an app. It's so nice because what is on there or how you can use it is um, everything. It's like a blog. So when you post something, if you post it, it's automatically sent to the person that subscribed to your membership to their email. What is so nice about that is sometimes people don't go into the membership site, but they will get the emails, right? So even if their emails are like laying there for a week or whatever, you'll still get it there. They will still get it there. And what's nice is you don't have to go out of your way to send that email. It's like automatic. So when you post it, it immediately goes to the email. This is what I like about PayHip. Yeah, so I use PayHip. Then, like I said, get familiar on, but I'm sure all of you are familiar on spaces like Zoom, Skype, I can't even type, Skype, Telegram, and also WhatsApp. This you will use for communication as well as hosting your lessons. Okay, so use these apps, make use of them. Like you don't have to have these extravagant places like Kajabi and whatever. No, use free platforms until you can actually pay for these other platforms if you want to pay for them, right? Otherwise, you can really have a free, you know, independent teaching business that is completely run on free platforms. There's so much information. There's so much I can share too. Okay. So yeah, that is like the number one way that you can find students. Just oh yes, let me type it in here as well so that you can also see finding students use and follow hashtags relevant. Yeah, okay, hashtags relevant uh, to your niche. Okay, so let's do. Let me put. Oh gosh, where's my hashtag? My whole keyboard is upside down. Ugh. Where's my hair? There we go. Okay, hashtag. Let's do. Um, but anyway, these are just examples of hashtags that you can use. Spain, Italy. Get very specific about where the heck you want your students to come from. You cannot just say, I'm looking for students, but you don't know who you teach. Because what's nice about teaching French students or Spanish students or Italian students is that get to know their culture and you will kind of creep into their hearts. Europeans are all about their culture everywhere, but mostly Europeans are very, very, very cultural people. So they like it when you get to know them. I was teaching a Russian Italy. I was teaching a Russian guy. He was a working professional and whatever. He was in transit, railway transit. That's what his work was. He was an engineer, I think. And he absolutely loved history. So he knew all the history of his country, very historic guy, very philosophical. So I had to, like kind of delve into the depths of not only Russia, but also the history of Russia. It was really painstaking for me because I don't like history. I'm not such a big fan of history. But if you want to get to know your student, if you want to get to know what they love, what they desire, you'll find students so easy if you just become super passionate about that. If you like history already, that's like a plus for you getting into the Russian market because those people love history and they love speaking about their culture. Okay. And it gets you into the habit of like getting to know your student more so that the more you find out, the more you can help your student. Okay. So if you like research and stuff like that, it will benefit you greatly. Okay. All right. So yeah, here we go. Okay, so yeah, that's basically it. Okay, then it comes to what do I charge? What should I charge as an independent teaching or TEFL teacher, independent teacher? Um, it doesn't really depend. I would say for like a general idea, $15 to $23 um, per hour. This is like a good range, especially in South Africa and the conversion rate. It's a good range to start out with. Even if you just started teaching, um, I would go there. If you want to charge less, I would then say create resources that you can actually sell. That is also part of your teaching. So maybe you teach. Maybe your package is 10 hours of course content. Okay, so then you would create this curriculum of 10 hours. You would package it to teach it live, and you would also package it to sell it as a course. So yeah, that could be one thing that you do if you're charging maybe half the price. So you're charging $7 for live lessons. You can also then charge maybe $5 for the actual course itself. Okay, or like $15 for the entire course because they'll get 10 hours of pre-recorded content like straight to the inbox type of thing, or straight to they can hop on the course and they can view the material straight away. They can binge that 10 hours in like today or whenever, however they want to pan it out or whatever. Yeah. Okay. So I'm not I don't really always think in terms of market research and strategy and all of these things. But when it comes to Europeans, I think Russians are willing to pay a little bit more than French people would. So just have an idea. Ask around for the teachers. I've taught a French person. I've also taught a Russian. The Russians seemed more, willing to pay, and the French person. And I don't mean I'm not trying to diss the European communities. Please don't come for me. But that's just something I saw. It doesn't mean anything. It's just something that I saw. I haven't gone and researched it myself. Okay. And then also overcoming your fear of charging. I wouldn't say your worth. Charge what, like it doesn't have to be market related. It really doesn't. There's people out here giving, doing services. Yes, maybe they have lots of expertise, but there's people selling a lot of crap online that's really not worth it for like $10,000 an hour. They've been doing it for years, I guess, but it doesn't mean that just because you're starting out that you should charge like $1 an hour. That doesn't make sense. Okay. Then we come to something that is very near and dear to my own heart, just because this was, is, and will always be me, I guess. The South African market. The South African market, when it comes to tutoring, is insane. I don't know if you've been on, on my Instagram, I get a lot of ads for tutoring companies. So lots of places like I'm based in Brackenfell in Cape Town. So on the side of me, basically, or the side, whatever, is Stellenbosch. I think there's like 3 different ads that I've seen specifically with tutors that are based in Stellenbosch. And this is just like literally tip of the iceberg. That's just an ad that came through my Instagram from that area. There's so many other tutoring places that are in that area just for, like I say, tutoring. And people are making it work for themselves. Okay, so just because you feel like South African people don't pay their own people to work or to tutor their kids doesn't mean that you shouldn't start a little tutoring business. Okay, for the South African market, it can be very profitable. And what I love about the South African market is we already know our people. We know how to speak to our people. We know how to relate to our people. You understand? I know how to relate to South African kids better than I do international kids. That's just me. I don't. I found that these are just that barrier between between cultures. I don't know that. Like I say, personal experience. This is just something I've experienced, and I'm not really a fan of that. So for me, I just love South African students. Okay, all right, and also don't be shy of the South African market and how much you charge. Okay, it doesn't have to be insane prices where the parent, is just thinking, what the heck is going on here? But it doesn't also have to be so minimal that they take advantage of you, type of thing. Okay. All right. But these are the things that you need to research. Like start out with a certain amount and then adjust it as you go along. It doesn't mean that because you started charging this in January, doesn't mean that you'll still charge the same in June or by June. Okay. All right. Okay, but we are in April, so June, July, August. May, June, July, August, September, October. Yeah, October is 6 months from now. Okay, do I need a website to start my own teaching business? No, you do not. If you're using a site like PayHip, that is website enough. It's going to create a membership / a community space where you can then speak to all your students all at the same time. So, like I said, when you're posting something, you'll then have that as like your landing platform where people will get emails as well as direct content inside the membership area. Okay, and it's a place where they can comment. It's a place where they can react. It's very nice. I can tell you. Okay, so and then obviously you will have to have social media. So having your Facebook, having your Instagram, um, you know, lots of people say I'm trying to do this for myself just because I want to be like very out there. I want to, I want people to get to know me. I want people to get to know the services that I offer, the type of person I am. I have to say, I've been very shy of online stuff. And I'm a very shy person. I'm a really shy person. You can ask anybody. I'm really shy. But yeah, I'm trying to get myself out there. So my suggestion is that you join as many platforms as possible. But if you don't want to bombard yourself with work, choose one platform. Choose Instagram, choose Facebook, choose Threads, choose TikTok, whatever it is, and go with that platform. Use that platform for at least until you feel familiar with the platform and how it works, and the algorithm. They always speak about the algorithm, but I think it's something that's falling away, because I've heard so many times people are saying that the algorithm is now working for all the small accounts. It's working for everybody. It doesn't mean that somebody with 10 million followers is always going to always get the audience. Always going to always is always going to get the audience, or always going to get the views. If your little post does really well on the platform, you are going to get that same audience. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying, yeah, you get it. So we need to move in the direction where the algorithm's going, which is giving the small guy, the small girl, an opportunity on these platforms. So yeah, use it to your advantage. Sorry. Okay, so you can also, like I said, social media, fantastic. If you have PayHip, that's more than enough. But then you can go on to create what is this place? WordPress. WordPress is a free place. You can create a website. You can do it. You can absolutely do it there. That also works very much like, I would say, quite similarly to Payhip, where it's kind of like a membership, but it's more like a blog thing. So they don't have to sign up to your website. They can just read your stuff for free because this will be your website, or it will just be like open platform, an open platform where they can read all your content, whether it's a blog, whether it's information on your website. And then what else? Oh, you can use Canva. Canva is another one, very very nice. Oh yes, I'm supposed to be typing on this thing. Blah blah blah. What did I say? WordPress. And then also Canva. Canva's fantastic because you can have links out to your sites. You can have links out to your information. My website, my Canva website thing, it has links to my different free resources. So I have resources for creating a CV and a cover letter. I have a demo introduction and demo lesson, a free resource for that, and I also have a free resource for interview preparation. So I have these resources that I have, and then it's a link out to the page where you can actually view the resource. Okay, download it, whatever it is. Okay. And then any site can have that, but what I like about Canva is I'm so used to designing in Canva that I can drop everything where I want it to be. So if I want this little speck of like a little star in the corner on that particular, in that particular place, I can put it there. I can rotate it, I can do whatever I want. I am not a drop and drag block kind of person. I don't like pasting my information in a block and just having it appear somewhere on the screen. I absolutely hate that. So that's why I like Canva. WordPress, again, is quite plug and play. So you're going to put your information in and it's going to show up on the website where the blocks are. Okay. I don't like it. I just don't like it. But anyway, okay. And then there is they are different. There are a lot of platforms that you can use to create a website or a landing page for yourself. So you can even go on Google and you can type in WordPress alternatives. So Google will give you a lot of WordPress alternatives that you can use as a website or a landing page. You can even write in Canva alternatives, whatever it is. Okay, but Canva is more a design platform. It's not necessarily, like website/bloggy vibes. So WordPress is more like what you are aiming. So I would say go for WordPress alternatives. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's about it, Yeah. And then how do I stand out when there are so many online teachers already? You'll stand out by being you. You'll stand out by having a personal brand. You'll stand out by going into niches and then leveraging your unique story and skills. Only you can do exactly what you do the way you do it. There's nobody that can speak like me. There's nobody that can present like me. Some people will do it better, but nobody is like me. Okay, nobody has the passion that I have. Nobody has the way that I think. Nobody thinks the way that I think. Okay, so you will stand out by being yourself. There are teachers that are completely fully booked, and in this market they started maybe last year sometime, and now they are completely fully booked. You just need to start. Okay, start and show up for your business. Okay, it may take 3 months, it may take 6 months, it may take a year, but continuously show up. And don't try not to be despondent by the fact that nobody's responding, nobody's saying anything, I don't get likes, I don't get comments. People are watching. People are watching just as much as I know people are watching this, being inspired, not maybe to start their own teaching businesses, but just to be themselves, to show up for themselves, even if it's not online. Okay. So yeah, that's like the whole point of why I'm doing this. So I'm going live every day just to show you that it can be easy. It can be easy. I'm showing up today in my pajamas. You don't have to get dressed. I didn't brush my hair. Nothing is holding you back. girly, boyki. Nothing's holding you back. Okay. But the way you can stand out is by just being yourself and going into things that you enjoy. Like I said, if you enjoy history already, this can either be something that you teach, or it can be how you deepen your understanding and um, your personal reach with your niche. Okay. And then speak about you have a unique story, right? So why are you interested in history? Why are you interested in grammar? Um, and then I know somebody that used to I worked for a teaching company when I started teaching. He was so good at teaching grammar. Just the way that he explained it, I was like, I want you to be my grammar teacher. That's how nice it was, the way that he explained it, the grammar lessons that we would sometimes teach. Sometimes I would be like, oh my goodness, what the heck is this? And he would just explain that concept so simply, so easily. And I asked him, like, how do you do this? And he's like, I don't know. He didn't even know himself that he had that gift. So you have a unique story and a unique gift. So start leveraging that thing. Even if it's something like there's somebody I spoke to a couple of years ago. She was interested in she was doing home-based care. So even if you have that expertise, you can teach somebody that's in home-based care that is doing it in the Philippines. They want to learn English. They want to learn. It comes back to English with specific purposes. They want to learn English. They want to learn English for their trade. This goes into business English as well, right? So teaching them those skills, man, there's endless opportunities. Like, we are so caught in our heads. Like, I see a lot of teachers like caught in their head that they need to be online and presenting themselves like you need to be stuck at your desk and you need to be teaching a live lesson every single time in order to be a TEFL teacher. You don't need to do that. You can create courses, you can do email lessons, you can just run a PayHip account, go on your social media, promote that thing like freaking crazy, and you'll see how people slot into it. Okay, use your hashtags, use your influence, use other people's influence. Go on to other profiles, like uh join the TEFL. I found on Instagram, if you join the TEFL companies, so TEFL company, what I mean by that is like Eye to Eye TEFL, join Premier TEFL, they like follow their page and then go in the comments section and don't like everything like this, because then you're gonna ban yourself. You're gonna put a flag on the account. So don't like one in every 3 or 4 posts. But then go into the comment section and see if there's questions being asked, if people are liking it, who's liking it. I think you can view who likes it, I guess. But yeah, get to know your audience a little bit better. Follow teachers as well. I follow a lot of teachers on Instagram. I'm starting to follow more teachers are following me. So yeah, and that's how we help one another. Okay, because I am no good at teaching grammar, whereas you may be so amazing at teaching grammar, as an example. Okay, so don't limit yourself to certain things just because there was one place I was working at. It's called High Local. They only have audio lessons. You can hear the students, they can hear you, but nobody sees each other. So, and that was so freeing because I could literally show up with a hoodie. I had the hood on when it was cold. I had the hood on. I was drinking my coffee. I was just living life, and I got paid for that. So yeah, you can absolutely run your business exactly the same way, right? You can have pre-recorded audio lessons, pre-recorded live lessons. It doesn't have to be perfect. There's a lady that I'm friends with. I'm very good friends with her. She is teaching working stay-at-home moms. She's teaching them English. Her kids are in the background. The student or the person that's having the lessons, kids are in the background. They understand each other, and that is her niche. The kids are going mad on both ends, and they both coming to learn the lesson, coming to learn English. The one is teaching and the other one is learning. But at the end of the day, that is her niche. You will find those people that are just they cannot get away from their kids, so it's not something that they can physically make time for outside of taking care of their kids. So bring your kids to your lesson. People love that. You'll find a lot of times that people, while it's getting more and more so, that people want connection. They want to know that you are a real person. There's so many, especially with the explosion of AI, there's so much fake stuff going on. There's so much fake nonsense happening at the moment. Okay, so get real, get into who you are. Like, just be goofy. Literally, just be goofy. Who cares? Who freaking cares? Nobody cares. Um, start singing. Special parent meeting. Hilarious. Okay, so just be yourself, be goofy. My whole family knows me as goofy. Sometimes they don't know stuff about me. Obviously, like sometimes when I'm really crazy, it's just like, she be acting silly. But yeah, the point I'm trying to make is just be yourself. Um, yeah, and sometimes it's also like saying the bold thing, the saying the thing that lots of people think is like untrue or whatever. Like, for instance, charge what you want, make your website where you want. It doesn't have to be perfected only for the client experience. It can be not perfected, but yeah, managed or made for the client experience. But it can be made for you too. I enjoy using Payhip so much. You know, do your thing, girl. Okay. Okay, last question I'm going to answer before I have to fetch my child from school. I'm going to be walking. I'm going to get so wet because I don't have an umbrella. It broke a while ago, and I dropped him at school. And when I came back, I'm like, I need to get an umbrella. And now, obviously, I wasn't able to do that today. And now it's like freaking pouring. It wasn't even raining this morning when I dropped him. So now we're gonna get wet, but it's fine. At least we're coming home. I can always just stick all the wet stuff in the tumble dryer and we're good. But when it comes to having an umbrella, I need one. So I think I need to get one later. Yeah, it's a good idea. Because it's raining a lot in Cape Town. It's nice also because it hasn't rained this much. Like, wow, last year it was like a dry winter. It was quite dry. Anyway, I like wet winters. It's the best. The best. Okay, I don't want to get into this because I have another question, like, how do I handle payments and cancellations without being taken advantage of? So this gets into like your terms and conditions, your policies, and your payment platforms. This is something that I'm going to put together then for the next live. Maybe I'll go live later. I'm not sure. I feel like I want to because I really love lives. I get to say more. I get to think out loud. I get to, yeah, perfectly curated content on when it comes from me. It's not gonna be nice because I'm always like, I don't know what to say, and then I do it wrong. And here on live, if I get it wrong, I can immediately either just gather myself and do it again or say it again. But I'd much rather do it live than recording myself and doing it. Because at the moment, I don't have to look at myself. Because I put myself to the side and then I can do my thing. Okay, this live has been absolutely lovely. I want to make this bigger. How do I make me bigger? I want to maximize myself. Yeah. Oh, can you still see my screen though? Oh my goodness gracious. Can. I don't know. But anyway. Okay. Okay. So when it comes to creating, so another question is where, sorry, can I really make a full-time income teaching independently? Okay. So this definitely it boils down to mindset. Okay. So you need to understand your goals, right? Mindset a lot, but you need to think about goals, where you want to be, how much you want to make, what type of influence you want to have. So if you want to have a huge influence, you're going to post a lot more. If you just want to, like call in your students, you're just going to post, 3-4 times a week. But like I say, boils down to mindset. you have to have a good mindset, and you have to have like a way of just like thinking that these are the things that I want, and keeping your mindset kind of fixed or focused on that, and journaling when all these things come up. I've been delving into my mindset for or delving or bettering my mindset for since the beginning of the pandemic. I It was probably 2021 when I really started, like thinking about the way that I think. I wasn't in a good place. I was always just like, I wouldn't say sad or depressed or whatever, but just like, ah, ah. And I didn't have purpose. Like there was nothing chasing me to do the thing, to do what I want to do, there was nothing keeping me accountable. There was nothing chasing me. There was nothing um, locking me in to having a good experience here on earth, shall I say. So I really just almost like stopped dead in my tracks, and I was like, where am I going? What am I doing? How can I change my mindset to be a little bit different, like a little bit more? I'm naturally optimistic. Thanks, Dad. I'm naturally optimistic, but there was just that kind of blockage that I just couldn't get past the fact that it felt like my life didn't have purpose, like there was no meaning for anything I was doing. So I just stopped everything. I stopped posting, I stopped being online, I stopped everything. I was just like, and I started listening to a podcast. And this podcast was about literally mindset. What's his name? Rob Dial. I started listening to Rob Dial. I just literally, Spotify was my newest thing to use. And I typed in there like mindset. Mindset. I just typed in mindset. His podcast is called The Mindset Mentor. So that was like perfect. I was like, oh, yeah, let's listen to this. I liked this message, and I started listening to him. So I listened to him for a couple of months before I actually moved on to business content. So then I started listening to people like Alex Omozi, Gary Vee, Cody Sanchez. These are the type of people I started listening to. I'm listening to them more now as well. Because then I started listening to again. I went into business, and then I went back into like a mindset phase where I was listening to Chris Williamson, Stephen Bartlett, Tom Bilyeu, Tom, Tom. Anyway, that dude Bilyeu. I think it's Tom. I think it's Tom. And then like I say, I went into mindset thing again, and then I kind of left that to business content again. So it's like an ebb and flow of your mindset that you need to be journaling. So when you look back, you can see how much you've progressed, right? So I've written all these things down. I have them, I have them on journals or whatever you call it. And then I put them in ChatGPT, and I wanted ChatGPT to summarize everything for me, and I use ChatGPT for everything. Um, yeah, especially helping me like just make things more simple. Yeah, a little bit, because I can make things really unrealistically complicated. Okay, and then setting from your goals into your mindset, and then setting realistic expectations for yourself. So um, I want you to write down big goals. You should be writing down big goals, like humongous goals for yourself, and keeping them. So even if it's like locked into the vault here of your subconscious, that's something that helps too, or something that works as well. You know what your dream is. You know what your biggest goal is. You know what that thing is. So lock it in, and then get locked in on getting there. It's kind of as simple as that. It takes work. It takes like dedication, but it's kind of as simple as locking into the idea that you have in your head of what you want for yourself. Okay. And then, like I said earlier, by making this thing a full-time um, business, right? So you can sometimes be working for a company or on platforms or whatever, and you're doing very well, but sometimes you're not allowed to take students with you or whatever, right? Or you can take, if you do take them with, if you want to be, you know, scaling with your service, you should be including more offers into your membership type of thing. So there will be things that you grow out of. So some content you will be so bored of teaching that you just create it as like a freebie, or maybe just a quick 10-hour course, and you're going to put it on the platform as something that they can buy, and you are on to the next new thing. Okay, build resources for your students, build a lot of stuff. You don't have to do it all at once, of course, right? When you're starting out, start simple. Keep things as simple as possible, but then, yeah. Okay. Okay, I've spoken a lot today, and I still have lots of things that I'd like to say as well. Discovering and, finding out for myself. So yeah, don't think that I was saying, when did I say it? Oh, earlier when I was making my, when I was doing the coaching call recording, that I am not outside of your struggle. I'm not, like way ahead and like whatever. I don't have all the answers. I can maybe help you in the process of what you are struggling with, but I am right there with you, learning new stuff. I still judge myself a lot. I still beat myself up a lot for not getting things right, or not being, where I should be in the moments that I would like to be, or in the places I would like to be. There's things that I've written in 2021 that I still haven't achieved in 2025. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's 2025 now, and I've written the stuff 2021. So yeah, it's all about learning, all about, enjoying the journey of life, because even though you mess up, even though you make mistakes, there's lots of joy in these moments as well. Like, right, you get to spend time with your family, you get to spend time with your kids. You'll never regret doing things like that. All right. Okay, so I'm done with this. I'm done talking. Okay, so I will see you in the next one. If you have any questions, please let me know. And yeah, I'll let you know if I'm doing, maybe I won't, maybe I'll just show up live. But I'll let you know if I have another stream later. If not, then it's either happening or not happening. Such a weirdo. Anyway, okay, goodbye. Have a beautiful day, teachers. Stay warm, don't go out anyway, but see you soon, and happy teaching.